we have a really wonderful group gathered here. Lots of different ways that we're celebrating the Pines tonight. And I'm very excited and happy to have everyone here. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome everyone. We have a few people still coming in, but we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, that's part of the fun of Zoom, that it's kind of casual and quirky and fun. So we're all in this together, just kind of hanging out, and we have a great program tonight. It'll be really fun.
Like the repetition.
Thank you all again for joining us for Christina Pettersson's listening party. This is the closing program for her really wonderful exhibition in the Pines. I hope you're all cozy at home, joining us tonight with maybe a glass of wine or a cup of tea, because you're in for a treat. A lot of really great performances, music, poetry, and a lot more. For those of you who may not know me yet, my name is Monica Pena, and I coordinate the Wavemaker grants and other programs at Locust Projects. Founded by artists for artists over 20 years ago, Locust Projects is Miami's longest running nonprofit alternative art space. I just saw the applause, the applause emoji from Lori, our executive director, who's here. Hi, Lori. Our mission at Locust is to create opportunities for artists at all career stages, invite risk-taking and experimentation, and you're gonna see some of that tonight. Activate conversations around new art and ideas, and advocate for artists and creative practices. We're really excited to celebrate Christina's exhibition in the Pines with tonight's program. The artists will be performing. You'll hear music from two beloved local bands. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions of the Ouija board, which I'm really looking forward to, and I think it'll be fun. And our very own development queen from Locust Projects Charity will be reading a poem for you. So that's very exciting for me personally, and for all of us at Locust Projects to get to participate and share some poetry. Christina's show in the Pines is on view at Locust Projects by appointment only until Saturday, August 15th. Check out our website, locustprojects.org. I think our appointments are pretty full or close to full, but you know, maybe someone will cancel and we can make room for more people.
Yeah. Or message me directly and I'll try to work around your schedule.
Awesome. Yeah, so on view until Saturday by appointment. Check out our website, locustprojects.org, and also follow us on Instagram if you don't already, at Locust Projects. And there you can keep up with all our upcoming exhibitions and other programming that may be of interest to you. So without further ado, Christina, I'm going to turn things over to you. You've brought some really amazing, lovely artists together, and I'd love to hear more about your exhibition in your own words and about tonight's program.
Yes, thank you so much, Monica. Thank you, Locust Projects. It's been an absolutely incredible month and a few days having this exhibition. It's a long time coming. I wanted to build a cemetery for about a decade or so, but I'm glad it's come to this point, because I have to confess that the Pines actually came late as a love for me as well. When I did my residency in the Everglades about 5 years ago, I went through the stages of loving the different 9 ecosystems. You know, I went through the cypress domes and the mangroves and the sloughs and the marl prairie, but the Pines came last to me, even though I grew up here. And I suppose that's part of the reason, is that to me, the Pines, like it is to a lot of people, was an ordinary thing. I didn't realize how spectacular and rare it was until I really started to delve into archives and to see these old pictures with, you know, the pine, Rockland trees in the background of all these old pictures. But what happened over time is, little by little, of course, they disappeared. And it seemed like no one really paid attention or cared for them. And to me, that's such a metaphor for what happens when you have this singular lens of history, that everything else in the picture can be ignored and be even invisible, even when it's right in front of you. So I'm in this exhibition in a way of trying to raise the dead. And to me, I'll let you on a great secret of how you raise the dead. You just see the thing that's before you for the first time. And what I like to do whenever I see the pine tree, a slash pine tree, which is our real pine tree, it's not Australian or Norwegian pine, is I go up to the tree, I put my hand on the bark, and I look up and I say, I see you. You know, I talk to it, and it's just, it's really simple, but it's something that has had a profound effect on, I'm getting emotional about it already, just the way I notice the world. And it's been really wonderful. And I'm so overwhelmed and grateful for how many people have taken an interest in the show, and how many people are here. I'm so excited. And thank you for everyone who's come to the show or who's tuned in. It's been really incredible for me, and it gives me such hope. So I am going to begin. And thank you in advance to everyone who's here, by the way. One of the things I do, because I'm not so great on camera, is I bring in my really talented friends and people I know in the community. And we have a really strong community here. I'm so grateful for, and I've been able to be here long enough to really feel like I have this great group of people. And I think it's going to be a great hour, so thank you. Let's see, I'm going to make sure I didn't forget anything. So first, actually, I am going to let Carter Jackson Brown is here somewhere, and I'm sorry I don't have everyone on the screen, so hopefully he is. He's a new kindred spirit. He runs an amazing SoundCloud called Southern Gothic Howl, so that's right up my alley. You should find it immediately and listen to it when you need a witchy evening. And he's going to give us the little pine invocation to begin our funeral.
Hey, so right now everyone's just going to jump in real quick with a housekeeping thing. Right now everyone's muted, so so if you're invited to speak, please go ahead and unmute yourself so that we can all hear you.
Is Carter here?
Okay,
Yeah.
can everyone hear me?
There you go.
Hi, everyone.
I'd like to recommend for tonight's program, for those of you more familiar with Zoom, it's probably better if we use speaker view tonight so that you can get the full experience of everyone's performance and contribution. All right, I'm turning the floor back over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Christina, for such a amazing and wonderful installation and homage to Miami's past, and really to the future of what is in store for us, as long as we are listening and seeing those things that are very dear to making South Florida such an amazing place. I'm just going to read a little something. It's kind of a, as Christina mentioned, kind of an invocation from a dream, if you will. And it's really just acknowledging the spirit animal that, you know, each one of us, I think, recognizes and acknowledges. And it goes this, and I don't know if I can, am I able to flip the screen?
Yeah, it should be that.
By any chance? Okay, let's see if I can figure that out. Please bear with me. Okay,
Yeah.
here we are. Okay, there we are. So to also honor the pines,
It seems that Torrance is cut out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That happens sometimes based on people's kind of individual internet connection, unfortunately. So
Yeah. Carter, can you hear us?
yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear us. Too bad. Well,
Yeah.
maybe you can kind of troubleshoot that, Carter. If you can hear us, maybe you can try to troubleshoot that on your own. Your video kind of locked up, and we can't hear you anymore. So
Yeah.
let us know
Okay.
if you're able to get that working and come back, and you know, we'll make room because we'd really love to hear your contribution.
Okay, well, I will go ahead with my invocation. I'm going to bring in a little bit of my Swedish heritage, actually, in particular a holiday they celebrate called Santa Lucia. It's usually celebrated in December in Sweden. It originates in Italy, and the idea is that the Saint Lucia comes on the darkest night of the year, and she brings a crown of candles, and she brings light into the night. And I think that's appropriate here in the cemetery. I'm going to go around and bring light to each of the tombstones here. The tombstones are a selection of people, places, flora, fauna that have affected me in my own discovery. They are microcosms into a much larger world, and there is a field guide to them. If you want to look online and look at a site actually that goes into descriptions about them. But, you know, it's sort of magical moments in history and things that relate to the pines, and to things to give you a better sense of your own hometown, which is my hope with so much of this, is you come to a deeper understanding of the place that you live. So I asked my friend, a wonderful mezzo-soprano opera singer, Shannon Nolan Gundry, couldn't be here tonight, to choose a funeral song for me. And she chose a Schubert work called Winter's Journey from 1828. And it's composed entirely in minor keys, which give it that sort of mournful feel, if you know about music at all. And it reflects, you know, Schubert's own life at the time when he was dying of syphilis, which he did at 31. And the story is of a lonely traveler who ventures out into the pines in the winter to try and rid himself of his lost love. So let's see, we'll start that now. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. We have to play it in the space. And I'll be doing some candle lighting. You know, you have to forgive us because of social distancing. I don't get to have a lot of help in here. So I'm not the best at it. But is Carter working? Is his audio working yet? Or should we try something else?
Carter looks like he's logged back on.
Can you hear us, Carter?
Carter, if you can hear us, go ahead and unmute yourself and jump in.
There we are.
Oh.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, folks. I had to go onto my iPad. I've been having some issues with my phone on Zoom all day. I'm going to try to reverse this again. This is a little altar that I put together just for Christina and the wonderful show. And yeah, I do a little program. Originally it was on Klingbox, and it's called Southern Gothic Howl. And it's just really just me acknowledging my love for dark country, Americana, indie folk, Baroque pop, stuff like that. And going to Christina's show, it really struck a nerve and resonated with me. And so I'm very honored to be able to share this invocation this evening. And it's pretty much like I might have mentioned earlier before things froze. It was kind of a dream that came to me. And it goes as such: in a dream, you come to me. The salt singes my tongue as I retrieve the tears from your sorrowed face. Lie still now, I am your keeper. Let your well fall like pine cones in a storm, for our lives are merely a forgotten memory, like yesterday's pines. That's pretty much it.
That's great, Carter. And it certainly speaks to the simplicity of the total loss of the pines, which of course occupied much of Miami and still reverberates under our feet as history does. And I know that's something that we've talked about, and
yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
please listen
this.
to Southern Gothic Howl. It's awesome. And now I know I have to get over to Lolo because I know she's got to move on to another Zoom in a little while. And she manages the band Dracula, which is an awesome local band who I first invited to do their own version of In the Pines, and it's just wonderful. And I'll let her talk about it for a minute.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. My name's Lolo. I am a Miami native who has stayed here the entire time. I didn't even go away for college. And I think there's like 47 of us, but we are here for a reason. I feel like we got born in the right place. Love the weather, love the people. I mean, that's what keeps me here more than anything. And Christina's show was such a amazing, heartfelt thing. And anyone who spends time in Florida enough to love it a little bit could really appreciate the work there, because, you know, finding out about things that are lost, and I've read Florida history, and I've gone, you know, a little above and beyond to learn some more things about where I'm from, but I still learned a ton walking around her space, and I thought that was amazing. And, you know, one of the things that I loved so much about Dracula when I first met them, amongst the music scene of Miami, which is so widely varied and more so than anyone outside of Miami and many people in Miami would ever believe, what struck me about them is just how against the stereotype of Miami they really are. They're a duo that play Gothic folk music in many languages. And when people I meet out of town, here I'm from Miami, they say, oh, you guys like, you know, thump thump club music and and salsa, and that's it, right? And it's clearly not it. So Dracula, one of whom is on the call today, hi Eli, have been making this beautiful music. Him and his song artistry partner Doris Bayo. They've been making this beautiful music in Miami for probably 10 years now. At art galleries, in cemeteries, in all these random places, and so many people, including a lot of the people who I see on this call, have already gotten to fall in love with them. And I hope that today many more people fall in love with them because they make just such beautiful sounds. I was so honored to help release this record last year with them called Doris and Eli. And it's still available. It's on everywhere. And we have vinyl, which we had to do in the analog fashion. We love them so much. It's been such a pleasure to accompany them on the journey to putting their art into the world. And they did a cover of In the Pines for this program, which we're very excited about. And tomorrow, if you poke around on the interwebs, we'll also be releasing a beautiful cover they did of Pete Seeger's Where Have All the Flowers Gone, another quite timely piece. So hope you all enjoy this. And we hope we can get back to the point where we can see Dracula in person again very soon.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Lola.
Thanks, Christina.
Lola.
Awesome, thank you. I am going to share my screen now with you all. Just bear with me 1 second so you can see the video that we were just talking about.
Mm. So good, right? I love the fact that it proves utterly that In the Pines is this special kind of song that has an incredible history in the United States and in Europe that is never different. It has been done hundreds of times, and it's never the same. I actually heard Leadbelly's version maybe 20 years ago or so, and was just utterly haunted by it. It's that kind of a song, and we're going to play his song at the end when we leave. But it's a murder ballad. It's, you know, was popularized in Appalachia. But if you know anything about murder ballads, of course, they go back to Shakespearean times in England and Scotland and Scandinavia, actually. And I actually learned recently that they would print actual sort of gruesome murders that had occurred on paper and to sell to people. And the really popular ones were made into music. And then, of course, when the Brits and the Scots and the Scandinavians came over to the United States in the 1700s and they settled in Appalachia, it became American folk music. And there are versions in blues music. It's very popular in country music. Bill Monroe made it famous in bluegrass music, and it even was brought over to France and is one of the seminal songs of Cajun music. So it's just really wonderful how it's translated. There's very few songs like that that I know of. And so the lyrics change all the time, but the core metaphor of in the pines where the sun don't ever shine and I shiver the whole night through is, you know, the pines is that cold, dark wilderness. It's the place where a person is left to be by themselves. It's the place where you face who you are and what you've done. And, you know, you're forced to encounter your own dark soul. It's a place of reckoning. And I think that still fits very well here. You know, when you go to the pines here, I think we are forced to reckon with what we destroyed and admit to it at long last. So I'm gonna play a video that is the video that plays in the exhibition, and is myself in the morning wear going through the last great swath of pine rockland forest, which is inside Everglades National Park. There is other sections of it, so you know, and you should get to know it. I'm not gonna go into detail. But the cool thing is when I went down, I didn't know this, but I recorded in a normal, healthy section of the forest, and then there was a section they had just control burned, which is something that the pine absolutely relies on. It needs fire to survive, which is incredible. You know, it's also the only pine in the world that grows on limestone, which makes it particularly miraculous here because we don't have topsoil in South Florida. We're not old enough. And then there's a section you're going to see that looks really completely barren, like it's maybe been destroyed, but it's actually a section of a park that was overtaken by invasives when it was agricultural. And the only method that works, because burning doesn't get rid of things, is they actually scrape the limestone down, to its bones, sort of to the bones of the earth, so to speak. And the native landscape grows back, which is incredible and magical. Even though it's decades since it's existed. So it's a really magical thing. And my dearest Eli Peck did the cover for it. He's here recording, but he's a bit shy, but he does a really wonderful job, I think, of a pared down version of it. So I think if Monica's ready, we can play that. If you've seen it already, you can take a little break. You don't need to record me.
longest train I ever saw went down that Georgia line. The engine has at 6 o'clock
All right.
There you go.
Thanks. The other thing I've mentioned that's really neat is you see those sinkholes, which they think were opened up by machinery, and they're really cool and spooky because it's a very clear water, but you can't see the bottom, so there's this like cliff-like at the entrances, and it's just, you know, very interesting and very Florida. And I wanted to mention also that if you've never heard Kurt Cobain's cover of In the Pines, he does an MTV Unplugged, and it's really phenomenal too. So you should totally check that out. So now we're going to come to the fun interactive part where fellow witches Lauren Shapiro and Philip Leek are going to take some Ouija board questions. We are trying to keep this pine focused. So no questions about your love life unless it involves loving a pine. And are they ready to go? I want to see, I can't see everyone. Is Julie Davidow here? I was going to have her ask the first question. If you want to unmute yourself and let me know if you're here.
Yeah, Philip and Lauren, just go ahead and unmute yourselves whenever you're ready. And I don't see Julie's name on the list, but if you're here, go ahead and unmute yourself too.
I think you have to unmute them, they're saying? No?
I'm trying.
I think we're doing pretty good so far, tech-wise. It's minor
All
problem.
right, Philip, you should be unmuted now. You say hello? All right, Christina, do you know what name they're?
Lauren.
Lauren. Lauren, sorry, is the name, not Philip.
Lauren, is she under a different name? Because I don't see.
Low Shop?
Low Shop.
Low Shop.
I don't see that name. They should be able to just unmute themselves.
Oh, In the Pines Ouija board? That was
It's a long list, you know.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Are they on a phone?
Yes, they are.
Let's try that one. Let's see if that works. Can you say hello?
Spirit of the Pines Ouija board.
There we go.
Alex says he sees it. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a long list.
Do you want to
We are
ask the first
here.
question, Alex?
We are
Since you're the magician.
Show us.
We are ready.
Put it for us. Can you hear
There
us?
we go. There's the Ouija board. Ouija board is found.
Can
Wonderful.
you hear us? Monica, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Very
can hear
good.
you. I'm gonna
All right.
unmute
Alex
Very
has
good.
asked a really funny
This is-
question.
There are four of us here. I'm Philip Lickley. This is Lauren Shapiro.
Esmeralda.
JP Bone. Our first question for the Ouija board is, Spirit of the Pines, are you with us?
Spirit of the Pines, are you with us?
I hope so.
It looks like a yes.
We have an undisputed yes. The Spirit of the Pines is with us today. Let's reset the planchette. Planchette goes in the center. Feeling very good about this. Our second question for the Ouija board is, Spirit of the Pines, will you name yourself? Give us your name.
What's that say? Is that a D?
D.
D.
Spirit of the Pines, give us the second letter of your name.
Is it pointing? We are working. E.
E. Spirit of the Pines, give us the third letter of your name.
H.
D-E-H. Spirit of the Pines, give us the next letter of your name.
X.
D-E-H-X. Spirit of the Pines, give us the next letter of your name.
That looks like it's probably
Oh, D-E-H-X.
D-E-H-X. It sounds
is-
like something not colonial
This is
English.
the non-colonial name.
Colonial name.
Spirit of the Pines. Are you male or female? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, there's no gender to the Spirit of the Pines.
Was there a
No
question,
gender.
Christina? Was there a question from our audience? Or should we keep going?
Yeah, there is a question.
Tell us what it is. Relay it to us.
The question from Alex is, what is the world pining for?
Ooh.
Spirit of the Pines, tell us. Alex must know what the world is pining for.
Looks like an R.
R. What is the world pining for, Spirit? Alex must know we have this question.
R-E.
R-E.
Rest and relaxation. S.
S.
Rest.
Rest.
T.
Rest.
Yeah.
The
Spirit,
world is pining for rest.
we are pining for
and I
rest.
think that's our
Rest.
cue.
That's your cue. Don't worry, we have 2 more sessions coming. We're just gonna intersperse it with a few
We're
other
gonna
things.
rest up. We're
Right.
gonna rest
Good work,
up.
good work, good
In the
work.
meantime, if folks want to type their questions into the chat window, Christina or I can pull them out
Yeah.
before the next round.
But for an interlude, I'm inviting Charity Von Guinness, a fellow witch here at Locust, to ask her if she would choose one of her favorite poems. And as it turns out, she chose one of my favorite ones too. So if she's ready to read.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. So I am reading Because I Could Not Stop for Death by Emily Dickinson. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. Slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisures too, for his civility. We passed a school where children strove at recess in the ring. We passed a field of gazing grain. We passed the setting sun. Or rather, he passed us. The dews drew quivering and chill, for only gossamer my gown, my tippet only tulle. We paused before a house, it seemed, a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day. I first surmised the horse's head were toward eternity. Thank you for a beautiful show and a beautiful night.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for a beautiful setup. I love it. And I think Emily Dickinson is still so incredibly modern and relevant, and that poem still rocks. Thank you. And we're gonna go back and have another Ouija board session. We have 2 more, but I want you to stand by too, because after the Ouija board session, we're gonna get a little bit of education from a real archivist, not a fake one like me, Stephanie Garcia, who works at Miami-Dade Library. So that will be after our next Ouija board session. Are you guys ready for take 2? And it looks like we have some questions, but Monica, if you want to ask them, I have on this little phone. It's a little harder, so.
Sure.
Thanks.
Let me make sure Spirit of the Pines are with us. There they are.
We are with you. We are with you.
We're with you.
I do have one question from Cara Despain. If others want to type questions into the chat window, you can do it that way, or feel free to unmute yourself if you can and jump in. The first question from Cara: Spirit of the Pines, when will South Florida finally succumb to the sea?
Spirit of the Pines, you've named yourself Dex. Dex, we want to know, when will South Florida succumb to the sea? Tell us your answer.
N.
N.
What's that? O-P-O-M-N-O.
No.
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 N-O.
Oh,
Florida
Wait,
will
wait,
not.
wait. Maybe.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Still moving. It said N-O.
N-O.
What does it say? W?
W.
Now.
Now,
Now.
Carrie the Spirit of the Pines has answered your question, and it has ordained that now
It is succumbing
is the
to
time
sea
that it has
now.
succumbed to the sea.
Any other questions?
Let's reset the planchette.
I'd like to ask a question.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Cindy. This was so beautiful. Thank you so much. I mean, this was amazing and completely unexpected. Into the Pines resonated with me. I've been here for about 25 or 30 years, and I love Slash Pines. And I'm not going to share it, but I wrote the invite to my wedding. It was like the save the date card, and it starts off with, "Under the spell of a southern moon, the pine trees whisper a memory of a soiree long ago." So thank you so much. There's a slash pine that, I don't know, for those of you who are familiar with Miami, there's Mary's Coin Laundry right there on 27th Avenue by Shell Lumber. I used to live in an old wood frame house, and there's a pine tree that's like huge and fantastic, and I visit it. And I was wondering the question, spirit, how do I pose it? I'm sorry, I'm not, spirit of the pine tree.
Dex is our spirit.
Dex, my question is, did you grow there or were you planted? He's huge and beautiful. So
Dex, we ask you if you have grown here forever or were you planted?
The tree by Mary's Coin Laundry by Shell Lumber.
That's right.
Southwest.
Tree by Mary.
Were you grown of your own volition, by accident, by nature, or were you planted by a human being? Tell us. Were you planted by a human being? That looks like a yes.
Human.
A human being planted that pine tree by Mary's Coin Laundry that you're referring to, yes. Somebody planted that.
I wonder who it was. It's such a beautiful tree. Thank you. Thank you for this program. It's very beautiful.
Is there any other questions? We can ask the Spirit of the Pine, or should we continue with one more question from us? One more question. Anyone?
There's a question in the chat from Jason. Spirit of the Pines, how can we be forgiven?
Ooh.
All right.
Ask.
Spirit of the Pines, calling on you. Dex, how can we be forgiven? How can we be forgiven?
N. NX.
NX. More?
Next.
Tell us more, Spirit. How can we be forgiven? We want to know.
NE. NXT. It sounds like next.
Next.
What's that?
W.
NXTW. the N. O. NXTO. NXWO. What's that? So what was that?
NXTWOU.
NXTW. We need to write this down. NXTWOU.
NXTWOU.
Is he done? Are they done?
Spirit of the
I don't think
Pines. Anything else?
Spirit, how can we be forgiven? Complete your sentence, complete your message to us.
L.
L. D.
Next wood.
L.
Next world.
Next world.
Next world.
Next world.
We interpret this as next world. So
The answer is NXTWOUD.
LD.
LD. Oh, yeah. All right. So
Next world.
our consensus as the oracles are that the next world is going to be when we are forgiven, the afterlife or our next incarnation.
Or potentially the next rendition of humanity.
I think that's a good note for us to end on. Those are some really terrific questions, and how we can be forgiven is something we all need to think about. And it's an excellent segue into our next presenter, Stephanie Garcia, who is the archivist at Miami-Dade Public Libraries. I'll let her tell you about it. But a little bit of history goes a long way, and knowledge is power, and seeing the pine is the first step. So, and after she's done, we're gonna have maybe like one more Ouija board question, if you got a really terrific one to end on. And then we're gonna have a main event, Donzii performing live in the cemetery. So stick around. Is Stephanie ready?
Yep, I'm here.
Hi, awesome.
Hi, how are you? Hi, I'm Stephanie. Hi, everyone. I am the head of special collections and archives at Miami-Dade Public Library. We have many collections, one of which is the Vasari Project, which I hope everybody's contributed works to, related to South Florida art, but we also have the Florida collection. So I pulled some images on pines just to kind of provide some context, but I also hopefully can I share my screen, or do I have that capacity to do it? I probably should already check. Well, not yet.
If you see the share content,
Yeah.
the button, yeah.
Say that again?
You should be able to do it.
Okay.
There's a share content button, right?
Your screen button at the bottom of your Zoom window. Do you see that?
I see share screen. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, share screen. So go ahead and just click that share screen button.
Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, weird.
Many images. But what I can say while troubleshooting is Florida collection has tons of material. Of course, there aren't many libraries open right now because of, obvious situation, but Miami-Dade is. So in any case, the images that I selected are all in our digital collection, so you can actually continue to do research from home, and I can do it. Okay, now I just have to navigate. Got it? I do. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Can everybody see what I'm sharing? I am screen sharing. So not many images, but I did want to kind of just talk about two collections that we have, which is the our Gleason Waite Romer collection, which is over 17,000 images of Miami from when Romer arrives just before the 1926 hurricane, like the Great Hurricane, and then and into, I mean, well into 1950s, 1960s. Throughout this time, Romer took images of everything. And then also I brought in some samples of a clippings scrapbook collection, over 220 books by a journalist named Agnew Welsh. And really, what happens with a lot of historians when they come to the Florida collection in search of materials, of course, we have tons of books that we can share that are, and for those that don't know, library is fine free, so you're not gonna get charged for being overdue. And a lot of our reference books that are on the floor, you can actually check out as well now. But aside from that, what a lot of historians do is they end up coming and they want to see the Romer collection. They want to really see firsthand what a lot of what Miami looked like during that time, what Miami looked like right before the hurricane, and certainly what these communities look like. And so he also documented nature. A lot of these are varied, but these, you can kind of see all of the heavy vegetation is from like earlier 20s. And then you start seeing things getting much more sparse, and that's happening in the 1950s. You also get to see this like really beautiful image that that is like pines and just like hitting this entire coast. Although we don't know what area it is, it's sort of kind of, it's far out to sea, this sort of image. And then I thought that this was a wonderful image to share of the Biltmore. You can see the Biltmore without all of this development that exists now, and how obvious like everything was just beginning.
I think you have to scroll down, or do I? Can you
Can I
see the images we're talking about? Is it?
Can you see anything? I'm sorry.
I can. I don't know. Maybe everyone else can tell me. All I see is in the pines and like part of one photo.
I'm so sorry. Well, it's not a Zoom video.
Are you playing your PowerPoint? I think you just need to, if you play the PowerPoint, we should be able to see.
Okay.
Or you can scroll down through the images maybe. I'm not sure if that's.
Can you see now? Can you see me changing images?
Yes, we saw that one change, and now there's the newspaper article, Florida Vast Empire.
That's so weird because it's not there. I'm so sorry.
Oh, there we go. There's another one.
Yeah, some slash pines.
You're just gonna see pines. That's all. Okay, sorry. Just now.
More pines.
Oh, there's so many trees.
Amazing.
We're keeping in theme, but okay. So we have these images, and then do you see the Biltmore now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay! I wouldn't be a librarian if I wasn't a little awkward. So we're just gonna work with this. So we have these images, and then we also have, like I said, Agnew Welsh. What's kind of amazing about this, hopefully you can see plantation called Coral Gables. I did this precursory search. All of this material is digitally, has been digitized already, and it's OCR, which means that you can actually search text. You can search old newspaper clippings. So in the context of somebody that's doing research on Florida or doing whatever it is, like for whatever, whether artistic or historical purposes or both, obviously, this sort of material ends up kind of talking about everything from Pine's development to kind of giving you some context into the Merrick House and all of the things that kind of happened in progression to early pioneers of Florida. And I found this really great article that talks about the tropic pines seal their doom, kind of talking about all this overgrowth that was happening and these decisions that were made. I mean, this is
specifically about the invasive species of Australian pine, but kind of, you know, all of these sorts of things that started to pave the way for how little vegetation we have in comparison to what Florida and what Miami was before. I have a toddler who's really into Magic School Bus, so she's about to give you an education on that as well.
We can wrap up in a sec here if you're ready.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I'm meeting a bunch of people. Do you want to? Thank you for inviting us into your home, Stephanie. Sure. I suppose I just want to say that for anybody that's doing research, for anybody that is interested, hold on a second. Florida@mdpls.org. Ask us any question that you want. The library is available for anything and everything. And as much as nobody wants to come out, place a hold. We'll mail you books. So I really just wanted to share that. She's gone again. But
yeah.
If you have any questions, awesome. I'm happy to answer, but I want to see Donzii. So
Yes, that was awesome. Thank you so much. You know, Stephanie is a new friend, and I actually haven't visited those archives, so I'm super excited to get into it. Yeah.
Look forward to seeing
you. Thank you so much. We are going to take, I think, one more Ouija board question, and then it's on to Donzii. Do you guys maybe have a final question back there?
We are awaiting a single question. Has there been any questions asked from your constituency?
Is Julie Davidow there by any chance yet? Stock tips.
Stock tips.
No,
I'm not sure that the Spirit of the Pines will be able to answer stock tip questions.
Oh, I see a question in the chat that I can ask, or I don't know if the
We are prepared to ask this question. What is it?
The final question.
Will win the election?
Oh, I knew it.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Spirit of the Pines. Who
will win the
election in November
2020?
That looks like a B, folks.
That looks
Whoa!
like
We have a B.
Well,
Yeah.
the Spirit of the Pines wants to elect someone who's going to protect the environment, so it's not really any sort of surprise.
And traditionally, we should say goodbye to the Spirit of the Pines. Spirit of the Pines.
Thank you for joining us.
We are going to take the planchette. We're going to thank you for communicating with us. Goodbye, Spirit of the Pines. Thank you for your help.
Thank you, guys. That was fantastic. And an utterly new experience for all of us. So we're all about that here now, incorporating the ancient with the brand new. So do you guys want to show yourself by any chance? Just, yeah, I don't know, faces? No. Okay, we'll keep it mysterious. All right, now what you've all been waiting for. Are you guys ready to go? Jenna's sitting on the floor. Jenna Balfi and Dennis Fulwer are in the corner here, and I think you can see them. Yeah. And they are a band that I have been really enchanted with for a while, and I couldn't be more excited that they agreed. They are going to do their version of In the Pines, and then they're going to do a few others for us. So grab another beer, glass of wine, shot of tequila, and get comfortable for a show, an actual live show in a cemetery. Yeah.
Hi guys. We're here in the Pines tonight, summoning spirits of the past, present, and future. There's a lot of feedback. Or the other one?
Is it on?
I think, is it hearing us? Is it working?
I don't know how to make it see us.
Is it seeing us? Do you guys know? We're really good at Zoom.
We see you, we hear you. You look beautiful.
Oh, you do?
You sound
Can you
great.
see us?
Go for it.
All right, so my name is Jenna Zoom, and this is Dennis Zoom over here.
We're gonna do a version of our song first.
And we're gonna, oh, thank you, friend.
A Pines version, I guess, yeah.
We're gonna do a version of a song, one of our songs, and then we're gonna do another song.
Want to live forever. I, for one, prefer to die right now. Potential death and then somebody. Freedom is beyond the living world. Make a mistake and write it on your grave. Nothing takes the place of you. Time is material. I'm not nothing takes the place of you. Time is material. And I'll go through you. That's forever. I'm the one who's ready to die right now. The danger of death that never sunrise. Freedom is beyond the living world. Nothing takes the place of you. It's time is material. And I'll go through you. I don't care. Nothing takes the place of you. It's time is material. And I'll go
I've forgotten what it's like now that I'm Jenna Zoom.
This is our special industrial version of Lead Belly's song in the Pines. This is our special weird industrial version of Lead Belly's in the Pines. I don't know if you've ever heard the, I'm gonna talk for like 10 seconds. If you've ever heard the Ministry version of Lay Lady Lay by Bob Dylan. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't know, that's the vibe that we're going for with this one. We're trying to go for industrialized and slow version of Lead Belly. Yeah.
we gonna do one more? Look at that, we're gonna do one more. Thank you so much.
The light just lasted
It's so
enough
nice
for us.
to have you guys here. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, that made all the difference.
Wow, that was so good. So good.
Oh.
Y'all gave so much like there.
Thank you.
My old back.
Oh my God.
Here you go. This is
God
it.
damn it.
Screenshots. My boy loves it.
Wow. Fuck me. Can I say that on Zoom? I feel baptized and reborn in the pines. That was amazing.
You've made it this far.
Don't worry, we're all socially distanced for it.
We're so safe right
We're being so safe. We just got a couple gals wearing morning veils along with me, and that was incredible. And I know we all needed a little bit of that.
now. We miss you.
We all miss you so much. I so want to thank everybody who participated and is incredibly talented and willing to participate in my crazy projects. And I think this was a funeral that the Pines would be very happy with. And I know we're all gonna go out there and pay more attention. And so I leave you with the assignment of doing something very soon. And I think Cindy, who mentioned the pine nearby, actually is, thank you so much for that. That was awesome. And it fits appropriately with the assignment I give you, which is to go out and find your own native pine. And, you know, my method, again, as I said, lay hand on bark, but if you just want to wave to it from your car, blow it a kiss, sing it a song, yelp, scream, wail, just talk to it. And because the thing is, to mourn something is to remember it, and to remember it is how you raise the dead. And we are here to raise the pines from the dead and to make it more a part of our lives here. And I'm overwhelmed. Thank you guys. This has been such an incredible experience in my life. And thank you, Locust Projects, for helping to make it happen. And everybody who come and supported it. And I think Monica doesn't have anything to say, or she's going to lead us out with the original Lead Belly version. To me, is sort of the seminal heart of it. So please be in touch, ask questions, research, do good things in your hometown. Be good people. Thank you.
Beautiful, talented people. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was so generous of you to share so much of yourself and to bring so many lovely people together. For those of you who haven't seen Christina's show yet, you got a glimpse of it tonight, but come check out the whole thing by appointment only. locustprojects.org to make your appointment. And as Christina said, we're going to close out with the Lead Belly version of In the Pines for all of us to enjoy.
My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? Come on, tell me, baby. In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine. I was shivering the whole night through. My girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. Where's that, baby? In the ponds, where the sun don't ever shine. I bet you will all night through. My girl, don't you lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? Come on and tell me something about it. In the ponds, where the sun don't ever shine. I bet she will all night through. Shiver for me now. What happened down there? My husband was a hard-working man, killed a mile and a half from here. What happened to him? His head was found in a driver wheel, and his body ever never been found. My girl, don't you lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? Come on and tell me something about it. In the ponds, where the sun don't ever shine. I bet she will all night through.
So many choirs, singing this, but
Good night, everyone.
we love you. Thank you for having us.
For joining. Good night.
We miss you guys so much.
Sort of asked me to